Welcome, Ashford students. Since this is a technology class, I've decided to tell you a little bit about myself. I call it About Me in 9 slides using Screencast-O-Matic. From time to time, you'll see different types of technology tools in our classroom. I'll be using them in guidance or just as a general announcement, and I hope that this helps drive home what I'm looking for as well as explain different things. Okay, so the beginning. I was born in Brooklyn. Brooklyn is in New York, made famous by, I don't know, possibly guys you might know, such as Jay-Z, Spike Lee, Brooklyn Dodgers. Manhattan is to the north as well as upstate New York, and to the west is New Jersey, and to the east is Long Island. And my parents decided that they were not going to raise children in Brooklyn, and they wanted to do it in the country. So off we went. There was only one road to come out here, by the way, and it was Route 27 when we first did this jaunt. And we moved to a city called Shirley. Shirley is a cute little town near the Hamptons. I always used to like to say to people that I lived in a suburb of the Hamptons, and it was close enough, but a little white lie. It made me feel better that I came from a little town that was known for Revolutionary War heroes. William Floyd was one of them. To reward him, the school district called itself the William Floyd School District and also named a high school for him. He was a part of the Revolutionary War as a general. He also served in the Continental Congress. He signed the Declaration of Independence, so he was really quite involved. And in my formative years, I played the saxophone, I played softball, I played field hockey, and I read a lot. And because I read a lot, I received a lot of diploma covers, as well as this hat here that I've worn quite often. This saxophone I brought with me to College of Mount St. Vincent, which is in Riverdale, New York. It's in the Bronx. And while here, I studied English. I majored in English, and I had a dual major of English and education. The saxophone, well, that was my pride and joy. We formed a band, a few people and I at school, and we called ourselves the Hairy Pork Chops. And we basically played anywhere people would listen to us. Nursing homes, malls, and it was really quite fun. Off I went when I finished this degree to the University of Bridgeport, and I earned my master's in education with an emphasis on remedial reading here at Bridgeport, Connecticut. And then I taught for 2 years. I taught second grade, and I realized that elementary school teaching was not for me. All those young children just did not, I was not comfortable at all. So I left teaching and went into business, and I sold paper, and I sold all types of printing, as you can see here, and eventually I ended up in a company that sold electrical supplies. I took my sales skills and just reinvented myself, and I started to enjoy wire and cable. My cousin and I decided to start a wire and cable business. We left New York, came down to Florida. I am living in Orlando, Florida, and have been since 1992. When we brought the company down here. Unfortunately, the company lasted for about 15 years. We sold wire and cable internationally to companies in Canada, people that did work in South America, Europe, Central America, and also in a lot of businesses here in Central Florida, such as, well, actually there are attractions, SeaWorld, Disney, and Universal. That sort of dried up in the early 2000s, so off we went. We decided to close the business, and I resumed my second life, which was my original love, which was teaching. And I spent some years in administration. Here is what I looked like as an academic dean in charge of the whole education department at a school. I always felt like I was chained to my desk with a lot of paperwork. So I decided to go back to teaching. To do that, I decided I wanted my doctorate, so I studied for my doctorate at the University of Central Florida, UCF Knights, and it took me 7 years to get my doctorate, and that's what I look like. My doctorate is in education, curriculum and instruction, and 7 years later, this is really what I look like. So, In my spare time, what do I like to do? I like to go to the beach. I like to put my chair right at the water's edge, right there. I do a lot of reading, writing. I enjoy time with my 2 Italian greyhounds, Giovanni and Jojo. Short, we call them, Gio and Jojo. They are quite adorable, and they love to watch me read, and they love to watch me write. Not so much at the beach because they don't like to get their little feet wet. So in any case, I hope you enjoyed this. Welcome to class, and you have to love technology.